gonna be so goddamn rich.
I think it's time to blow this thing. Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Gonna be fucking rich. I want my fucking money. Griffin,
What's up, brother?
I want my fucking money.
I got notification. Oh, let me see the voice.
Hang on 1 second. Hang on 1 second, brother.
Holy shit, we're gonna be so fucking rich. Damn it, we're gonna be so fucking rich. Griffin, I want my fucking money.
You're an original,
Hey,
aren't
yelling,
you?
cowboy, me the fucking money.
Boss, did you read that SEC report?
Hang on, brother. I'm playing an intro right now.
Get the goddamn money printer out.
Great. The bounty letter.
We're gonna be so fucking rich. Get the goddamn money printer out.
Ain't that right? What's going on, fellas? How are you?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Good, just hanging out. Figured we'd go live for a little bit. Looks like the market's on fire, and that looks good to me. How are you guys doing?
Burn it down.
Burn it down. The Nasdaq's down 2.25%. I'd say it's on fire for sure, man. We got some problems in the stock market. And anybody that wants to say otherwise is full of shit. They like to claim there's a rotation happening here from small caps to large caps. I just don't know if I buy that bullshit. The Nasdaq just continues to bleed. It's just getting worse and worse. It was down 1%, then 1.5%. I'm just sitting here watching. Now we're down 2%, and so on. This doesn't seem to be getting any better.
Wonder when our next hedge funds go down.
Shit, dude. I don't know, but it's fucking bullish. It's a bullish case, if you ask me. Hang on 1 second. What's up, Jacob? B. Booth, Imran, Paul. It's good to see you guys and girls. Thanks for coming out. Kyle, Future. What's going on? Javi, my man. I hope all is well, brother. Hope you're taking care of yourself.
Bulletin received.
Hi, Nancy. Good to see you. Jeff. Let me just get something out of the way here real quick. Slide this shit over. The Nasdaq is now down 2.3%. This is just, it is getting worse by the moment here. This is not getting any better. The S&P 500, which was, dude, did you guys notice the S&P was like up 0.5%? Not even 20 minutes ago, and now it's down almost 0.5%.
Yeah, something's happening.
This shit's on fire. Oil's up 2% though. That's been steady for the last couple of hours. And the Dow Jones was also up 0.25%, you know, 0.3. But basically flat, right? What's going on, Sigma? What were you asking me, brother? I'm sorry I didn't quite hear you.
Oh no, there was a Twitter post about some sort of margin call at 2 p.m. Eastern. I didn't know if you had any sort of insight into that.
That was some shit that FX Hedge posted with absolutely zero context, zero sources, zero information. You know what I mean? I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's FX Hedge or CNN or MSNBC. If there's no like actual information, like at least give us an idea of where you got it from. It's a just trust me, bro, kind of situation. Does that make sense? Like, what do you think?
No, yeah, that's why I was asking you, because I didn't know if you had heard anything. You have probably, I would assume, more resources than the typical ape, but yeah, that's
not by much, but
I mean, it gave me some hopium. It gave me some hopium, but that's about it.
Meantime, short interest is way up on AMC.
Jesus Christ. Did you guys see that NVIDIA is down almost 6%? That's fucking weird. Let me take a look real quick. Yeah, the Nasdaq's still down 2 1/4. But the IT sector is just taking a beating. It is down to over 2%, and then consumer discretionary is also down about 2%. Financials, of course, are up though. Isn't that fucked up? Financials and energy. What's going on? I want to say hi to everybody in the chat. It's good to see you guys. Thanks for coming to hang out. Hang on a second. Let me switch over my screen here so you guys aren't just sitting here looking at me. I know you guys don't give a shit to see me right now. Hang on. There we go. I almost forgot to switch it over. Days to close, I'm sorry, days to cover has increased 13%. We are now at 2.6 days to cover for shorts on AMC. What's good, Jeremy? It's good to see you, dude. Stop switching my mic. I don't want to switch my mic. Hang on one second here. Let's scoot this down. That should give you guys a better opportunity to see what the hell's happening up there. Where's Silverback? You guys seen him? Elmo Silverback? Just out of curiosity. I know he was in the chat giving us updates.
You know, I haven't seen him too much lately. I don't know if work's got him preoccupied.
He's been a little busy with work, yeah. Elmo and Silverback as well. The current short interest estimate is nearly 21%. Free float on loan has increased almost 11%. Exchange reported short interest information from over 2 weeks ago, because this is T14 data up there for the exchange reported short interest. That says -4. So that doesn't really tell us a whole lot, but the actual current estimated short interest is a lot more bullish. The days to cover on loan is 2.59, up from 2.28 7 days ago. Got really bright out all of a sudden. Damn.
Did you get any weather up that way?
We got some really nasty wind. So basically like 60, 70 mile an hour winds. Thankfully, no tornado issues here by me in the Chicago area, but I know down south a lot of people weren't so lucky. How about you guys? How'd you guys deal with it?
It spawned up just just on the other side of us and took off. But we had high winds yesterday, about 80 miles an hour.
Same here now. That's kind of what we're seeing.
So, boss, would you say we're basically waiting for Evergrande to officially go bankrupt?
You need to waiting for what? Can you give me a better rephrase your question a little bit, please? It's very open-ended.
So when do the bonds become worthless? I guess because that's really what matters to us.
The bonds will be worthless as soon as the banks admit what's actually happening, or that insolvency petition by Dr. Marco Metzler is filed. And I think that's happening very, very soon, especially since Dr. Metzler said that, told me via LinkedIn that he was proceeding, and he also mentioned it on Twitter, that he was proceeding to file the petition without additional bondholders at a cost of over $50,000 to their company. So he's definitely going to lose money on his bonds and then money on the insolvency petition as well. But I think it's for the best, and he's doing us all, everybody in the community and everybody in the stock market, he's doing us all a favor by filing this insolvency petition against Evergrande for not having paid their bond, not having made the bond payments, you know.
That basically pushes them to have to file bankruptcy.
Yeah, it's like bankruptcy being thrust upon them. They're already being sued by many people in China to get money, and that's where their money's going to go first. But this insolvency petition will basically push them into the bankruptcy court in the Cayman Islands, where Evergrande is based out of. Willie Lawrence says he just got 20 more shares of AMC at $24.25. Let's go, Ape Fam. Buy the fam some Amy shares for Christmas. This is not financial advice. That's just what my friend said, and I like the idea. I like the idea. That's for sure.
Damn, I'm sitting here watching The Big Short, and all hell's breaking loose over there.
Mm-hmm. Look, at the time of this writing, the S&P was up 0.81%. The Nasdaq was up almost 1%. And now it's erased that. The S&P is down 0.5%. The Nasdaq's down 2%. And we've got the reverse repurchase starting at... Wait a minute, is the reverse repurchase currently underway? It's 1:09 Eastern time. That means the reverse repurchase is currently underway for the next 4 minutes, 5 minutes. And as we see that happen, there's a natural decline in the stock price in a lot of stock prices, but the majority of that money is kept in cash anyway. So part of me believes that the majority of the stuff that they're using in the RRP right now is most likely cash money, and not much of it is liquidation. The Bank of England has surprised markets today by announcing it's raising interest rates from a historic low of 0.1 to 0.25%. The Monetary Policy Committee voted 8-1 in favor of the rise after the latest official data showed inflation hit 5.1% for England in November. And it's very similar to the United States, where the United States claims our inflation is 6.8% for this month of November. For last month of November, however, if you use the same calculation that we used to use in the mid-1970s, inflation is actually at a 40-year high at 15.5%. Hey Miles, we did talk about the margin call at 2 p.m., but who's got any real information on there? Because FX hedgers going, trust me, bro, margin call at 2 p.m. Eastern on the Nasdaq. That doesn't really say a whole lot. You know what? The markets right now reflect margin calls. The markets reflect a sentiment that is not bullish. Armando Lopez asks, is the movie The Big Short similar to what is happening now? Guys, what do we talk about in the Discord? What do you think?
Yes and no. This movie would be called The Big Squeeze, not The Big Short.
You know, the thing is that
It's just on a larger grand scale. Everything's 10 times greater.
You know, most people don't. I don't know if people remember the end of that movie. They kind of talk about how everything just went back to business as usual. They started pushing out these shitty financial products again. They never stopped. They got bailed out and they went back to doing exactly what they've been doing. So these bubbles are bigger
than ever. And this is the part of The Big Short where Dr. Michael Burry's on the phone demanding to know why the price of his assets are not reflecting the changes in the collateral value. We're at that exact moment where they say it's not correlated, and he goes, they're precisely correlated. That's exactly what they're based off of. In the same way that we were using mortgage-backed securities off of mortgages in 2008, banks are using Chinese real estate developer bonds overseas. And they're selling them to you, and your pension fund buys them, teachers' pension funds, union pension funds. They're all buying their shitty dual-purpose bonds that HSBC and BlackRock and UBS are all selling. That leaves the American people and people worldwide as the bag holders in this situation. And I'll show you. The Nasdaq remains down 2% for now. Let me pull up these notes.
You know, boss, when you said that you could potentially see yourself testifying before Congress.
Hey, yo, man. Hey, we're not supposed to talk about that on stream.
Oh, sorry, brother.
That's all right.
Do want to say, boss, thanks for all you do. Like, honestly, like, this community is such a great place to, like, share ideas, and I don't know, it's just fantastic. Needs to be said more often than regular.
Thanks, brother.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you. I love the community for that very reason, That's what makes it special. That's what makes this different than anything else that's ever happened. AMC Aaron hints at opportunity. This is written on Ortex here. I'm wondering if you guys can see it on my screen. There it is. The CEO of AMC has suggested, as we already know, that a Canadian court ruling requiring one of its major rivals to pay a hefty fine is an opportunity. The news stems from a decision last year by Cineworld, the UK-based parent company of Regal Cinemas, to scrap a merger with Cineplex of Canada. Cineplex sued the company, and yesterday, a judge awarded the company damages of $1.25 billion with a B as in bitch. Aaron's comments have left the company's army of fans wondering what his next move might be. And while we were talking, the industrial sector, it looks like consumer discretionary sector is now negative 2%, and IT is 2.5% change. So NASDAQ remains down about 2%. Let me switch over to those notes real quick, since we were on the subject. Let's see what these assholes have to say.
That picture changed since before yesterday afternoon.
Well, that was a big change because the Fed had seen only
Yeah,
half
meanwhile,
of
AMC is now
they've been
green for the
divided
day.
over moves in 2022.
So
now they
far.
are suggesting that they...
That's awesome.
How's AMC looking right now?
Plus 0.69%.
Perfection. We can stay there until we moon. I don't give a fuck. Buying opportunities, people. And I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Do your own due diligence. Still attempting to retrieve data. Give it a moment.
And those times, plus 4 of the people who submitted dots yesterday aren't going to be on the Fed by the end of next year. And so at this point,
Interactive Brokers does not seem to want to cooperate, even though their fucking stock price is up today.
What has the Fed said in
And
terms
I am
of
not
sequencing?
affiliated with
is
Interactive
it
Brokers in
going
any
to
way.
go reduce taper to nothing, then shrink the balance sheet a little bit, then rate increases? Or can they go ahead and increase rates as soon as they're done tapering? You know, we're looking at the BOE doing both at the same time.
Well, the Fed would like to finish tapering first.
I'm going to stop that right there.
You get no TV ads. You get no TV ads on Boss's channel.
That's right.
I just
So
bought
as
it.
of right,
Farzam,
go-
thanks so much,
No,
brother.
no,
I
you go
appreciate
ahead.
you. Go ahead, buddy. I didn't mean.
so as of right now, then Dr. Metzler's having to pick up the tab on this filing.
Yep. Dr. Metzler and his company, Metzler Rating Agency, and I believe DMSA, somehow, I believe that he's picking it up. He's picking the tab. So he's doing us all a real favor.
That's a big win right there.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. You know, it's like, let me restart this, see why this isn't working. Just going to open a new one entirely. Yeah, Dr. Metzler, I believe, manages over $1 billion in portfolio, if I'm correct on that. Looks like Glow is giving out a MACD type 2 buy signal today. CRWS has 20 to 30 sell signals. CMCM has a RSI 20 to 30 sell signal today. MANU as well, MANU.
They might need to make a long-term hold button for that too.
Eurozone inflation forecast for next year was raised sharply from 1.7 to 3.2%. That's definitely going to impact markets. I see. ECB staff also raised the core inflation forecasts and now sees 1.4% this year for core inflation, 1.9 next year, 1.7 in 2023, and so on. Looks like the reverse repurchase is over as of a couple minutes ago. The market is recovering slightly. The S&P has recovered about 0.2%, and the Nasdaq has recovered about 0.2% as well over the last 5 minutes since the reverse repurchase was completed. Let's go with this one. Get this out of the way. Get the order entry out of here. I don't need that either.
on, big dog?
What's going on, Elmo? How the fuck are you?
Good, bud. How are you?
Great, man. Watching shit burn.
That's all it's been doing, man.
Glad you joined us.
Fucking,
I know you've been keeping busy too.
yeah, busy.
Great.
It's all good, bro.
We're live right now, just so you know. So
Yeah,
you
cool.
can maintain certain things private. That's the only
Cool.
reason I tell people.
Yeah, did you see what's going on in China right now? The fucking bank meltdown crisis and all that shit. Evergrande's getting ready to
What's the
start.
word?
Popping.
Yeah, I just posted it in the chat. There's an article
Yeah.
on it. Read.
Yeah, funds. I think you just you did just post it in Ape Chat too.
Good
Yeah.
deal, funds. Thank you, Reaper.
Welcome, sir.
Good looking out.
Welcome, sir.
Ooh, land seizure by government.
Yes,
Yeah.
CCP is taking over.
Didn't we
shit's
say
about
that
to
was
hit
gonna
the fan,
fucking
dude.
happen?
Yes, sir. Been
We
doing it
said they
for
were
a
gonna
while.
take that goddamn land.
You know, you get punished for being early, boss. You know that?
And that's okay. I'm okay with that. I'd rather be early than late.
You get punished for being early.
That's okay. I'd rather be early than late any fucking day. Especially on the stock market.
Hey,
Whatever.
bro. Question.
Go ahead, brother. Whatever.
What's the deal with the Nasdaq margin calls at 2 p.m.?
That's trust me, bro shit. I hope it happens, but it's still trust me, bro shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What the fuck evidence did he provide? What in any capacity?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was like, okay, margin calls.
Well,
cool.
so, yeah. Sorry, I asked the same question earlier, man. I didn't know if Boss had seen something else, but that margin call could happen. Now that I think about it, it could happen, and we never know it because they meet collateral. So,
Well, the Nasdaq is down 2%, right? I think. I don't know if it's bounced back, but last time I checked,
No,
it
it's
was
the
down.
same. You're right. It went down from negative 1.9 to negative 2.0. So it's still bouncing around in that same channel. That's no surprise.
Slowly but surely.
Yeah, things are
Hey,
leaking.
boss.
This stock market's got a bloody nose, and it's hemorrhaging at this point. It's going to just start hemorrhaging at some point. It starts with a bloody nose, It's just going to get worse there.
I was getting ready to say, like, if the stock market were a house, I feel like they've lit the fucking all four corners of the house on fire, and they're just gonna let this motherfucker just slowly burn. Just, I don't know another way to put it. It's just, it's not gonna be. This isn't gonna be a quick thing. This is gonna be a fucking slow and steady type deal.
They need to be able to rotate in and out of stocks and in and out of portfolios with different people's money. So it's got to be. It's going to be a long-term
they're just
process.
positioning themselves near the exit before the whole thing fucking falls down.
Yep.
Hey, boss.
What's up, brother?
What do you think the signals being sent by the CCP with automatically stepping in very quickly, stopping all the sale of the assets of Evergrande, them consuming Evergrande basically? What's that send to all the other foreign investors and foreign money over there with all these other over-leveraged companies? If the CCP can step in and just consume a company and with foreign money, then don't you think that creates some type of nervousness in the market for all those that have foreign money invested in China?
Yes, and that's why it's not only irresponsible, but it's wrong of BlackRock to be saying things like China's a good investment. It's wrong. It should be illegal for BlackRock and HSBC and Goldman to be telling people that it's a good investment. That's fucked up.
Yeah, we don't have any, necessary rights like you do here in the United States to file a court appeal or anything like that. The CCP, can do what they want. So, I mean, your money's it's to me at high risk if it's invested in any type of Chinese assets.
It looks like. Go ahead, brother.
I was just gonna say all that money's about to be gone anyway.
But I mean there's a a literal fuck ton, probably trillions of dollars invested all throughout the Chinese market with American businesses in China. I mean, most of our manufacturing was over in China. So if the CCP decides to start consuming properties, we could take much more significant losses here as American, owners of businesses and, investors.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why they can also control the supply chain as well, because we rely on them so much from all the fucking goods that they create.
It's like China just pouring fuel on the fire just to ignite it and get it burning really fast.
Well, yeah, they're playing the long game. They've let us get balls deep in their economy for decades, and then they can just chop the whole thing off.
Yeah, they can severely hurt us economically, at least temporarily.
From a supply chain standpoint, or from what?
Both.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. But it's transitory, right?
And if they stop purchasing government bonds, man, that can kind of be the first Jenga piece pulled on our fucking central bank Ponzi scheme too.
Hey, speaking of bonds, did you guys see Dr. Metzler say that the fucking hedge funds here are shorting
CITADEL,
American
right?
bonds now? Yeah. Did you guys see that shit?
Well, that might be their hedge. That might be their hedge, right? If everything implodes, that would be not a bad hedge. Am I correct?
Doesn't BlackRock purchase the treasuries, keep them on reserve, and like Citadel comes in and shorts them? Then they ask for the bonds back. Then they throw it in Paraflox trading. They keep it there for cash.
BlackRock is the largest manager of United States assets as far as the federal government goes. They're the largest management company when it comes to that stuff. So, in essence, it's not really going to help them, because when the rest of the fucking economy tanks, right? When the economy tanks, those bonds are going to go down. So they're going to be losing money there too. It's kind of just a direct correlation. I mean, these guys have money spread out all over the fucking world. And when all these bonds fucking start to go belly up or just go down, think of the amount of fucking money that they're going to lose all at one time. It's going to be fucking stupid. So it is a good hedge, and it's not a good hedge, because if it goes up, okay, cool. They're going to make money on it. But if it goes down, they're fucked. That money just disappears. So it can help them, but it can also hurt them. When the bonds in the Chinese government go belly up, I mean that money, we're talking trillions of dollars. That money's gone, and it's the liquidity there is just fucking gone. It just disappears. So
no, Boss brought it up in his live stream a couple of times now. But isn't there a fiduciary responsibility by BlackRock and these other funds with 401k and pension money and stuff to
Absolutely.
Protect their investors? But yet, I can't prove, I don't know for sure, but maybe they're allocating some of these investments to support those bonds right now for, margin or whatever purpose. But I mean, is there anything a pensioner can do when they know this bond's going to shit? And, these funds, we believe, are putting more of their money, because like Boss said, it's not their money. They don't give a shit.
Yeah. I would venture to say no, because again, that money's being put in the stock market, so it's basically gambling. I would say that, as the market fluctuates, that money fluctuates, right? So they can't go belly up, because if they do go belly up, then guess what? That's the federal government's money too. So that's where all this shit gets kind of hairy, right? With the fiduciary responsibilities, and it also gets really hairy with what they're doing with that money. I mean, guys, the banks are over leveraged 133 to 1. It's fucking stupid. Like, you sit down and you actually do the math. The banks and the hedge funds are over leveraged 133 to 1. Think about that. I mean, it's just astronomical, the amount of money that these guys have fucking spent, or the lack of responsibility that they have created with just fucking throwing money everywhere and trying to be greedy. And if this worked, I mean, it would have made them trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars. But it's
Well, I
not
just
going
meant like, if BlackRock or several of these others, if this is going to put them in a position to take massive losses, them using pensioners' money and stuff like that into, something they know is failing to maybe, I don't know, kind of rotate their books around where BlackRock's not hit so hard, but they lose money for their clients. You know what I mean? That's
It
where
depends
that's
on,
fiduciary responsibility comes in.
yeah. Well, I mean, it
Yeah.
depends on where they put that money.
Yeah, but I
Right.
mean, these guys are so far at the top. The BlackRock has so many advisors at the White House that I don't see the DOJ coming in and enforcing that fiduciary responsibility on them. You know what I mean? I feel like they just know that they could get bailed out.
It's just a thought because I know even my
Yeah.
401k is in BlackRock, and then because it's through my union and stuff, I don't really have a whole lot of say so over it. I can't move my money or pull it out or anything.
Yeah, man. It's fucked up.
I'll just say this again. It really just depends on what they've done with that money, right? So, they're taking people's hard-earned fucking life savings and doing whatever they're doing with it. It just depends on what they've done with it, where they've put it. They could have put it in bonds. They could have put it in stock. They could have fucking used it to short. I mean, you just don't know what they've done with it. So it depends.
Right.
And they could even cook the books and lie about what they've done with it.
Absolutely. Absolutely they can. They've been doing it for fucking decades. Boss, what do you think?
Just listening, boys. I think everything's right on track. I think you guys are on point as well. I'll say that.
I think
much.
we're going to be fucking rich. That's what
That's
I think.
for damn sure. The current short interest of the free float is estimated to be almost 21%. The new CAT system implementation really, really is doing a number on these guys. I don't foresee this going down very much anymore. It went down. This is exchange reported short interest, which is data from November 30th, 2021, as reported by the exchange on yesterday. So this is why this is a negative number. This is not indicative of what's happening today, yesterday, or even 13 days ago. This is T plus 14 data over here.
The two funds that went down yesterday, we could see through the 13F filings their put positions that were closed out by third quarter and by November.
We can see a lot of them now as well from their, yeah.
But we cannot see what if they had a short position, because that doesn't have to be, filed or whatever. That is private. So we don't really know with those two what their short exposure was, or if they had a short exposure to AMC or GME. And I don't know if the new rules going forward will, if that will be something that has to be reported in the future, but I think it should be. Because, then the public or retail, really can't see, what a fund's exposure is to something. Which, it's hard for you to gauge your risk, with a fund itself or with your own positions or stocks, this and that, if you don't have that type of data.
Let me see what this guy's saying real quick on first
Over
word.
120 countries. I'm Mark Crumpton.
Nothing worthwhile right now. Okay. Back, I do have that information. Let's see here. What are they showing here? Nasdaq 1.82. The S&P down almost 0.5%. The Dow Jones up 1/4. And I've got the actual data up right now. The Nasdaq is down 2.18%. The Dow Jones is flat. And the S&P 500 is down 0.5 percentage point, almost exactly. Did you guys see ADGI? ADGI, one of the biggest movers today, plus 118% or so.
Holy shit!
Wow, that's a big jump.
Here it is, ADGI, Adagio Therapeutics, up 113% today. Now that looks like a short runner, Therapeutics company definitely could have got shorted. I wonder if there's any news though, because there's no real published news here, except it looks like a published thing yesterday saying that Adagio reports reduction in vitro neutralizing activity against Omicron variant. I don't think that's the kind of thing to be 100% run.
Look at that stock on the 5-day. It plummeted like 2 or 3 days ago.
Yeah, it probably was shorted or so, yeah. I believe where's my data? What the fuck, Ortex? What the fuck am I paying you for? There it is. Today or tomorrow? Come on. Apparently you just said no. Ortex said fuck that.
It realizes you're not a bad guy, so it's like
it can't give me data because I'm not a bad guy. It looks like it's been trading between 32 and 49 bucks over the last few days. But it was as high as 79.23 here, Adagio. That's pretty interesting for sure. I see what you mean by it was definitely some interesting shit just happened here. It was definitely shorted or something.
Hey, boss, while you're looking that up, did you see Dr. Marco's or Dr. Metzler's tweet about 10 hours ago? It says Chinese creditors have sued Evergrande for $13 billion in overdue payments while lawsuits pile up.
Mm-hmm.
Prospects for repayment are unsure. The priority of officials is to ensure that all construction projects are completed. They don't mind if other creditors come up empty in return.
No, they don't care. And that's the plan over there for the Chinese Communist Party, is to pay, basically to pay themselves and their own Chinese people, you know, their own
Can you imagine
constituents,
if the US...
and not pay international bondholders.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, can you imagine if the U.S. government came in and if something like that happened here, they were like, hey, all the little guys, you're going to get paid. Fuck all these, you know, giant bank monsters. Like,
wouldn't that be nice?
That would be really nice. And I'm not a communist by any means, but, you know, the CCP doing this, it makes them look good locally. You know, like the little guy probably is like, yeah.
Well, the attention to detail would be kind of more pertinent on this, because if the CCP takes over, even if the projects get finished out so that people get their homes or this and that they paid for, that doesn't necessarily mean if the CCP has taken it that they don't own it. So even if you paid for it, the CCP may own your property even though they're leasing it to you.
Yeah,
on another note, somebody OG sent me something this morning. I was only able to verify it through 2 websites, and both of them it looked like the same article.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like Japan's prime minister is admitted to a little bit of fudgery on their books on their construction/real estate financials. So it's very similar. You saw that, so I mean, I mean, I don't know to what degree. I've been working today, so I couldn't read it, but it looked on a cursory look like it might be kind of along the same lines as an Evergrande deal, possibly. So I don't know what the amount was that they're talking about, but somebody ought to take a look at that. I won't be able to for a while.
I appreciate.
I can send the article.
I'll try to get around to
over.
it too.
I'm
in the same investment watch blog, so I'm kind of in the same boat right now. Yeah, definitely something that we got to look into in Japan, because it's.
I'll post.
I was thinking about the same thing, and I'm like, ooh, we need to see more information on what's going on in Japan, since that's just going to add more fuel to this disaster.
I did bring it up to OG that I'll tell you who's been good at releasing that type of data on their news. They kind of Taiwan has been real good about. Yes. Yeah, so Taiwan and Australia, believe it or not, once in a while they are, you know, still on the periphery of the Asian market, Australia. So if somebody could kind of put eyes on that, see what they could find out.
Right.
It may not be in English, but at least we can get some data.
I did want to note that as far as Evergrande goes, I'm getting a lot of questions in the chat. I just wanted everybody to know that financial expert Mark Twain noted companies go bankrupt in two ways, usually. Gradually and then suddenly. And up until last week, Evergrande was in this gradually phase, and we just got to the suddenly phase. So we're at a point here where things are going to start to accelerate. And he even says generate a cascade of systemic failures, according to Investment Watch blog, which I have to agree with him there. Bankruptcies and push China to the verge of a default crisis never before seen in world history.
I will say this morning, Nasdaq has actually broken below 2% a few times. And S&P is about 0.5% down, then Dow's up. But one of the things I did notice, there's been a pretty 180-degree turnaround on energy sector.
Yeah, it's back up 2%
from
now.
Yesterday till today. Yes. So here's my theory on that. We very well could be seeing the last pump effort into energy before the big dump, and which would be the precursor to the market. So, I mean, it's just a theory. It's a hypothesis, but it's something to keep an eye on.
I see energy possibly remaining strong this time, only because of inflation propping it up so hard. But I could be wrong. I don't know. I'm just guessing, hypothesizing.
There's just energy is so
myself.
weird. It's so volatile and
yeah. One day it's worth a fortune, the next day nobody wants it.
Right. And it's so many factors. I mean, all it takes for Russia to say to China, I'm not going to give you, we're going to shut down the pipeline, and then energy goes through the roof, right? Because now there's a demand for it, but you can't get it there. And then on the flip side, I mean, you have like PDVSA or one of the other conglomerate cartels will say, like OPEC, they'll say, we're going to start producing more, and then you'll have it go down. So there's a lot of variables, but I'm just saying on a daily look, it's a pretty good indicator. But there's no rhyme or reason over why it would pump up over the last 24 hours that I can see.
You see this fucking cock and balls pattern?
What? Where?
Look on my screen. There's a cock and balls pattern forming right here.
Sam, this cock and ball pattern.
Yeah, props to Astro Boy for that one. I dig it.
Yep.
I'm not seeing your screen.
Oh, I might not be streaming it. My bad. I can't stream it now on good. Discord. I got too many things going all at once.
You're all good. It's all right.
Yep. But it's prominent, and the shaft is growing.
I like cock and balls way better than a George W.
Yeah, we know you like them. We've heard that plenty of times.
Hey, that's Silverback's fucking line right there.
Blame that shit on me. You better look over at fucking Funds Reaper. That motherfucker's got bruise on his chin.
Got him.
Damn, man.
It's like the
I
callous.
think we just doesn't like there was small penis enthusiasm in this Discord.
He doesn't care if it's big, it's small. He just enjoys it all around.
No, it doesn't matter. I'll tell you, the callus on the back of his throat matches the one on Elmo's penis.
Yep, absolutely.
Don't help him, Elmo.
Unicorns and rainbows, boys. Unicorns and rainbows.
What the fuck?
Hey, boss, did you know something?
I don't want to know. We're live, bro.
We are going to be so fucking rich.
Oh, yeah, no, I fucking knew that, bro. We're going to be fucking rich.
Where's cash going to be?
Cash, man.
Cash money millionaire. Where you at? Where you at, brother?
We need like a Batman signal with a cash on it, like a dollar bill. Yeah.
Call them up.
Fucking awesome.
I love that tombstone that somebody put up of Tyborn Capital and Anchorage Capital. That's fucking perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is perfection.
Oh
I
man.
don't know. We're starting to step up again, fellas. We're at 2507.
Now we're gonna trade in this little channel here for a while. It looks like.
Yeah, it's a weird one. Fucking strange.
We moved above the 2480 resistance, what I believe to be, or support, whatever. I believe we're going to kind of hang out between 2480 and like 2587 for a while. Maybe until power hour, and then all bets are off. I have no idea what's going to happen in power hour. It could be nothing. It could be incredible fucking runs. I hope. My fucking options need it.
Well, from 1210 to currently right now, what's concerning me just a little bit, even though you can't go by TA on this stock, we all know that. No, just on the 1 minute. If you look at it, we have a prominent head, ascending head and shoulders.
I like the way it looks because it looks like it's doing the opposite of the way it came, like it's running up on the way it was just coming down on the 1 minute. I like that.
Yeah, I'll
I think that's
post this.
bullish. My kid's trying to bust down my door.
Munchkin tech.
Yeah, so we had that run up off of a George W. and it went into a pennant. And now it's doing something squirrely. I just posted it so you can see it. It's a little strange on the 1 minute.
Oh, good. Yeah, we're at 25.22, 25.21. Now we're moving a little bit. This might be good.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens now. I got to pull up my volume. I got the volume off because I just opened up a new chart.
What you mean, pump up the volume? Pump up the volume.
Mm-hmm.
Better question is how the fuck do you go from $100 million or $100 million in volume yesterday to 32 million right now?
I think they're holding
I
it.
said that this morning.
I
I
think
said
they're
it was
holding it, man.
Yeah.
The volume could come in the last 15 minutes. We can get shitloads of volume in the last 15 minutes.
Well, yesterday also somebody posted something that it was over 90% dark pool.
Reverse
So how in the
repo,
fuck
all-time high. Fuck yeah.
Mm.
Reverse repurchase is all-time high again. Thank you, Dencio, in the Discord, in the ThinkTank. Appreciate you. 1.621 billion is what I have. I have 1.621 billion on the all-time high overnight reverse repurchase agreement for today. Let's see how many counterparties we had.
Nice.
Shit. Where the fuck is it?
Hey, I'm going to bring you on the day after Christmas. I'm going to bring you some dried herbs from my garden.
Nice.
Yeah,
that
man.
sounds awesome, man.
What'd you say, Chris?
I said that sounds
she
awesome.
said, no, my wife said not the kind you smoke. I was like,
That's what I was thinking of right away.
You're
No,
saving
it's-
those for boss, right?
yeah, this shit's like dill and oregano, and I got a metric shit ton of stuff. So I figure I'll bring you some of those and maybe some dried San Marzano tomatoes and olive oil.
Nice.
Dude, that sounds fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, man.
Holy shit. Holy shit. It's updated. I was looking at the one from yesterday, and I just pulled up the one for today. It is even higher than both of us said, Dencio. The reverse repo operations for December 16th was $1.657.5 trillion.
Yeah.
New all-time high. We're going to be fucking rich.
New high
Holy
score,
shit.
motherfucker.
78
You know,
counterparties.
I don't know. I don't know
think that's
whether
an
we
all-time
hit
high.
2 trillion. Yeah, I don't know whether we hit 2 trillion or the market crashes first. Anybody want to get a pool going?
I don't think the market will the market will crash first.
I think so too, but I'm a betting man. I need odds.
Yeah, odds.
I got enough betting on these fucking options, brother. I'm good. I don't need any more derivatives in my life.
No, you just need a fucking print machine now, motherfucker.
J. Powell, get the goddamn money printer out.
I'm talking about your options print.
Yeah.
We're at 25.16.
Yeah, boss. Your puts had to start to go.
I think I'm gonna change my goddamn icon over to an A10 warthog.
Fuck yeah.
That's awesome.
The ape hog.
Yeah.
We got a
You
lot
should
of
change
stocks
your
in
name
the
to-
red here. We got some really heavy losses on stocks. Like, what the fuck are these? I've never heard of quite some of these. Bird Global Inc.
Hey, boss, can you explain something that I can't remember who posted it, Elmo? Did you ask him about that post that somebody did on Twitter that said at 2 p.m. there'll be Nasdaq margin calls?
Yeah.
That's the talk of the day, man. Everybody's asking about that shit right now. It's fucking nothing, man. It's just FX hedgers fucking putting out trust me bro crap. Where's the source?
Oh, there he is.
Cash Money Millionaire in the house.
Cash. Fucking Bat Cash. There he is.
They predicted today perfectly.
I told you, I gotta get you a cash signal.
Oh, dude.
Yeah,
a cash is never late nor is it early.
Like the bat signal in the sky, but a money symbol.
That's what I said. That's exactly what I said.
A cash is never late nor is he early. He arrives exactly when he means to.
Oh, is this stupid thing only update when I have my mouse clicked there? That's dumb.
25:30, guys. We're running a little again. 31, 33.
Money, how's it going, bro?
Living the dream, we got lost snow in northern Utah.
Oh, yeah. You guys are getting snow up there?
What?
Oh, fuck. Stay warm, dude.
Oh, he is warm. He's got about 4 or 5 of those Mormon girls in his basement tied up.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, 4 of them are cooking. The other's cooking in a different way.
Exactly.
And a party brick to go with it, dude. I love it.
I'm telling you. And you know what? And they're wearing those special jammies, those Jesus jammies.
My God. Oh, they're getting better at making sandwiches.
Oh, fuck, Money. That's awesome.
Yeah, I just took a look at that 5-minute chart. It looks a whole lot better than the 1-minute chart.
Hey, you know what, boss? I think we're forming an ascending channel. We sure as fuck are. I've got 4 touch points. 5.
You posted in the chat?
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's take a quick look here.
I really think we're hitting that. Hold on a second. I'm trying to get this motherfucker drawn in here.
Does Fed policy or does the tapering or bond
Be right
buying
back,
back have any effect on the reverse repo at all?
I don't think it does. I'll have to look into that a little bit more, but I don't think it does.
You know, I didn't know if it, with their policy going forward, if it has anything to do with it at all.
Yeah.
Give me. It would smooth the market. It clearly has.
Have we talked about the new all-time high for reverse repos again today?
Yeah, we
Yes.
talked about it.
I just got in here a little bit ago.
Don't ask about the margin calls at 2 p.m.
Don't do it.
What margin calls at 2 p.m.?
Oh, trust me, bro.
So
FX Edge made a post.
Yeah.
Those are some famous last words. Trust me, bro.
Oh.
Nasdaq's starting to hit down towards the 2 again. We're at 1.9 negative.
Hey, back. What's the weather like in Dallas right now? Or around there?
Right now we are at. That can't be fucking right. Fucking weather apps like my ex-wife. It doesn't work.
Yo, I can't
No,
believe how
it is.
warm it is here.
72.
Fuck. That's like 75, 76 here. It sucks.
Yeah, but you know what happens tomorrow night?
That might just
No.
might come up.
Saturday we actually tomorrow night we go 75 and the overnight's 50. Then 54 is the high Saturday, 28 low.
Jesus.
Yeah, and then I'll be out there smacking duckies.
Sounds like a Monday here.
Jesus, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not.
Ooh,
We didn't get a fall. We're going straight into winter. Fuck it.
Nasdaq's down 301 points, negative 1.94. And I don't see a fucking news article one clarifying why, of course.
Yeah, the Nasdaq continues to bleed. It's now 2.16 in the negative.
Oh, shit, I've got it at 1.93. You got it at 2 point something?
2.16. I got it up to date though. It's by the second here on Vortex, so it's a little bit more update, probably up to date.
Cool.
The Dow Jones is up a quarter, which is not really anything at this point. And the oil is up almost 2.5%, which is pretty interesting. $72.50 a barrel.
Yeah, that's suspect to me. I'll be honest with you. Over a 24-hour period with no news, no catalyst, other than inflation. And then the Asian markets were all green last night. Is another anomaly.
That's what has me perplexed.
Right. No, we did break out of that ascending channel, though. You might be right, boss. You're ahead of me, though, but I'm showing we're starting to consolidate a little bit just at the 25.10. Huh.
It's a slow train wreck. It takes time to unravel the fuckery.
Yeah, it does. We're gonna take our time on this one, boys.
I just bought some more.
This is the part where Boss starts playing Boys to Men.
No.
Are we talking about playing Baby making music like
Play something a lot better than
We
Boys
got
to
a
Men, that's for
cotton
sure.
balls on the chart. You're not going to play Boys to Men?
You already had a lot of kids.
He's getting ready to play. He's getting ready to fucking play. I don't know.
He's just going to be the next Genghis Khan. Genghis Khan of the Midwest, man.
He needs to do is play his Hamilton jam.
We'll get copyright strikes.
No,
1.657
but
trillion.
that was tight though, dude. It fits your shit perfect.
But yeah, we'll get copyright strikes. So I don't want to get the video completely taken off YouTube out again. Happens too often.
Right. No, I get you.
Maybe we can have Zabi or one of the guys remix it for us.
Oh, yeah. Get a mix in?
Yep, mix it nicely, and we can get down and not have to worry about that. People keep asking me to put up the cowboy song, the Cowboy Bebop BossBlunts song.
Bebop?
What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Should I put it up on YouTube?
Sure.
I think so.
The Netflix show got canceled, eh?
There's a
Did it
live
really?
action.
No, man. You know, I watched it, but like for a couple days, I couldn't find the show after it started.
Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2.
Where are you talking about the Cowboy Bebop?
Yeah.
Getting fucking rich.
Yeah.
I want my fucking money.
I don't think it made it.
Well, I mean, I finished watching it, but there's a couple days where I could not find it after it already started. I really do.
Yeah, same.
Alright.
I never watched the anime, so I didn't have any basis to go off of, but I enjoyed it a little bit.
Yeah, the anime is way better.
It looks like Global Atomic Corporation's posting a buy signal that only gets 1.11 triggers per year, which has a max return potential of 100%. Has a 100% success rate so far.
Smoke 'em if you got 'em.
Smoke them if you got them.
I don't know if I ever told you, but we're gonna be really rich.
How rich, Cash?
Like, really, really, really filthy rich.
Oh, awesome. Thanks for clarifying, brother. This is not financial
Yeah,
advice.
you know.
We're not speaking for you, we're just speaking for ourselves.
You needed to have the cash cosign.
Never leave home without it.
Never leave home without it. Like your American Express card.
Did y'all catch yesterday when Powell was talking and he was in, direct opposition of Janet Yellen? What she just said 2 weeks ago they asked him about leverage, and he said that with the capital requirements that the banks have now, or the capital they have on hand, that he doesn't see leverage or whatever is any type of problem. I thought that
He's
was
an asshat.
bullshit. It's complete
Yeah,
bullshit.
I trust the boss's
dare you.
girlfriend more.
That cocksucker can't find his own ass with fucking 2 hands and a flashlight. Bank on.
His job is to prop everything up until it's time to pull the fucking rug. That's what I think.
Yeah, it's fucking Prince Pump.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. It was in such direct opposition of what she had brought to, the forefront, or brought to light right in, a Congress hearing. You know what I mean? And obviously with the words that she chose, they have significant concerns, and the committees are looking into that because it is a problem.
Well, she's under oath when she's talking to Congress.
True.
Right.
He's giving a speech. He's not under oath, so he can fucking lie out his ass.
Well, that he did.
That he's good at.
So he's basically on a pep rally.
Pretty much. Pretty much all I did yesterday was fucking lie.
Where the fuck is it? And that's why I got all that
No,
wrong.
we retraced down to 2490 now.
Yeah, no, that's the channel, 2480. As a matter of fact, I've got it clicked right here. I had it at 2488. I moved it down to 2481 to basically like 2580. It's going to be I think we're creating a new support level here at 2480.
And you 2480 to 2580, so a dollar channel.
It could, yeah, it could be bigger,
Okay.
but that's just what I'm thinking so far.
That's a good start. Yep.
It's a good place to be for now. I wouldn't mind if something crazy happened. That's for sure. Because until then, I'm just keeping an eye on it.
It's weird too.
Keep an eye on the
fucking
market more than
volume.
anything. That's the real sensor here, in my opinion.
It looks like the volume is pretty erratic too.
Yeah, the volume's real low right now. It's very, very low right now. And
yeah, but you got these inadvertent these spikes that are just weird.
Well, isn't the volume affected by the dark pool volume as well? If they're just moving
Yeah, and yesterday we had 100-something million yesterday, and they said it was over 90% dark pool volume. So imagine what I bet if we were, on lit exchanges or lit exchange.
Is that 100 million number, is that calculated in total volume with dark pool and lit, or do we not know what the volume, even though 90% went to dark, do we know, would it be like
I
200
think that's total volume. Yeah, in the aggregate. Yep.
Okay. Well, I mean, if we had that much of a price movement with only 10% going to the lit exchange.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, yep. Exactly.
That's big. Or as Boss would say, it's bullish as fuck.
It's like money.
Somebody, I was reading an article last night. I don't remember who the hell it was. Somebody prominent said that they expected dark pool to go away shortly. And I cannot remember who came out and said that, but
maybe a couple other people.
Yeah, it was Dave Lauer. You're absolutely right. Kind of shocked me. I was like, whoa.
Like no dark pool at all ever, or just like a temporary suspension, or?
I think what they would do is they would actually enforce what it was meant to be doing in the first fucking place, which is not for, holding on to orders and combine them. It was for large swaths of trades, and it's they're utilizing everything, forcing it to it, and it's just it doesn't do you any good to have all the laws in the fucking world if you're not going to fucking abide by them, if someone's not going to enforce it.
Yep. So for those of you guys that don't know, the SEC can actually discontinue dark pool trading at any time. They can just fucking say no more dark pool trading from this time to this time. They can do it at any time.
They can do it with payment for order flow too, if they fucking so chose.
Yes, they can.
Are there other off exchanges, like off lit exchanges, that aren't regulated by dark pool rules? Like that Citadel Connect, is that different than a dark pool?
Nope, that's exactly what it is. It's an alternative trading facility. It's a fucking dark pool. But that one in particular, because afterwards they don't put it into a lit market.
Yes, sir.
I can't wait for the leg change. They'll free us from the darkness.
That's right. Got to pull us out of this fucking darkness. I've had enough dark pools. Yep, IT is down 2.5%. Consumer discretionary almost 2%. Energy's up almost 2%.
Yeah, something's not right. And IT was down like almost 4% the other day. 2 days ago.
Some people are probably saying it's got a lot to do with Jerome Powell's speech yesterday, but I think that's bullshit.
Are there that many? Well, I guess that's probably
that much money waiting on him.
Right. Are there that many sheep?
All the railroad stocks are up.
Train man, look at that.
What's going on, buddy?
God damn, where you been, man? They fucking extradite you or something?
Oh my god! No, I went on vacation for a while. And I went hunting. Went out of town hunting.
Nice.
And then then got back from that, and then just been work and Christmas and everything. Been busy.
I got you.
Right after MOASS, I'm gonna get with you about one of these duck hunts.
Oh, absolutely, dude.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a bunch of my buddies together. Go on a duck hunt somewhere with you.
Yeah, that'll work. That'll work. We can do a goose hunt, duck hunt. We can do actually both. We can do duck in the morning, goose in the evening.
Oh hell yeah! Yeah, I'm ready. I mean, believe it or not, I've never done it. I've done everything: quail, rabbit. I've hunted just about everything but duck and dove, but I never have done the duck and geese.
Well, you got to be a little fucking retarded to strap on waders at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning and wade through ice water. You know what I mean? And then setting it up to sometimes your fucking nipple or your belly button and waiting on some ducks to come in. You got to be a little off to begin with. So.
Oh well, man. There's nothing better than being outdoors, though.
No, I will tell you, it is probably next to turkey hunting. I think it's the most addicting hunt there is. Much to my wife's dismay, because I had gotten out of it for years, and then I had a fucking neighbor pulled me back into it like I was one of the goddamn Corleone family, and got back into it. I went from not owning anything to spending thousands of dollars on decoys and shit to get back into it. It's like every time she'd come home, there'd be a package on the door. It'd be another 6 or 12 pack of decoys. the biggest lie the biggest lie in the world is I promise this is my last decoy.
Yeah, I know. My biggest thing will be when I die, my wife goes to sell it. She goes, "God damn, he got ripped off. What did he pay for this?"
Well, I will say she doesn't give me shit about guns. I mean, there was one point where she had more guns than me, but so she doesn't like it when I'll have like 3,000 rounds of 5.56 show up at the door and I don't tell her. She tries to pick it up.
People are saying it's tendy season now.
I had a guy work my work. He ordered a container full of 308s. The FBI showed up and asked him why he needed so much ammo. Oh shit!
Zombies.
That's right.
Just make sure your buddies don't turn a chain on you.
That's right.
I have 30 or 40 turkeys in my backyard, eating out my bird feeder.
Oh, I don't know where I'm hunting next fall.
No shit. We're going to fucking Utah.
And if you live in a neighborhood I don't give a shit, I'll bring a bow.
Days to cover on GameStop is up. Days to cover on GameStop is up 31% to 4.13 days. That's fucking bullish.
What is up on GameStop?
Days to cover.
Oh, no shit.
Days to cover on loan is up to 4.13%. Yeah, that's up to 4.13 days. 31% difference. AMC's days to cover is up to 2.59 days, up almost 14%. Bullish.
How's that? How's the days to cover actually factored in? Because I mean, I know there's no way to factor in like synthetics or FTDs or none of that. So I mean, with the data that they give, I mean, it's got to be more days than that if all that was taken into account, right?
Yeah, it'd be 2 or 3 weeks, I guess.
Days to cover is just how long it takes them to get some of these shares secured, and the longer it takes, the better it is for us. It just means that they're more scarce. It's just an indicator among many other things, you know.
I'm looking at my Ortex shit too, and I'm just not buying this cost to borrow being at 1.09. That's a bunch of shit.
It's cheap shit. It's cheap shit to borrow because there's other shit to borrow. They don't need to borrow AMC or GameStop directly. They do it through other avenues. ETFs, man. Don't eat on stream. Please mute your mic.
Oh yeah. I guess
Thank
you're right.
you.
That does put a big chunk out of it, doesn't it?
Yeah, Ortex is kind of worthless now.
Yeah.
And a lot of it's self-reported, so they're not going to fucking tattle on themselves.
It's all self-reported. Reaper, please, I need you to mute your mic if you're eating on stream, brother. It comes through really loud. Do you guys hear that Rivian is not, that people that their analysts are now bullish on Rivian? That's gonna be the biggest crock of shit I've fucking heard in a long time.
How many cars have Rivian made?
Exactly. None. No fucking cars.
4?
Did they even finish one?
There were 2 for that Ewan McGregor thing that were almost finished.
Rolling chassis.
And then they have, yeah, and then they have the other one that they take drives in with prospect customers. And then they have one in their showcase, I think.
According to Washington here, AFX, while the tech-heavy Nasdaq has moved sharply lower during trading on Thursday, the Dow continues to see moderate strength in afternoon trading. The S&P 500 has joined the Nasdaq in negative territory after climbing within striking distance of a new record intraday high. Looks like the Dow, the SPY is now down negative 0.7, and the Nasdaq is down negative 2.56. We might get those margin calls after all, boys.
Nice.
So
what just fucking happened?
Puts?
I didn't say that.
No, I'm asking. I don't know about puts.
This fucking wind is ridiculous. Oh, look, Dr. Zeno says, sigh. Look, people are uncritically clinging to unsubstantiated hopium. That sort of crap does not help our cause in the long run. Stay grounded, people. Bullish, but grounded. I'm sorry you're too small-minded to be able to see that kind of thing. That's unfortunate, Dr. Zeno. Have a nice life, buddy. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Rivian has made 5 cars and are valued higher than Ford and GM, says James Kelly. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Boss, here's a question for you. What do you think is going to happen when the NSCC 010 gets passed tomorrow?
It's not going to be passed tomorrow. That's not the way that it works. It could still be.
Go ahead.
010 is not passed tomorrow. That's just the last date for commentary.
Yeah.
And then it's going to take a while after that as well. Anytime between tomorrow and February, I believe it could be implemented. So they could kick it down as far as they want.
They could actually not implement it until after the squeeze.
That's what I'm getting at. They could just hold on to it for as long as they want.
Okay, thanks for clarifying that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, you guys got to remember, just because FX Hedge says there's going to be margin calls, that doesn't mean there's going to be margin calls. You know what I mean? Like, I'm talking to everybody in general. We need to have actual evidence or actual insider information. We can't just say, margin calls start at this time, especially from like FX Hedge, who's supposed to be news. You know what I mean? Like I would suspect that he puts out less opinionated things and more news. Like where I feel, you know, here we talk about a lot of truths and a lot of news, and then we say a lot of things that we believe to be opinion, and I think that's fine. But it's a completely different sort of thing that we're doing here, having discussions about possibilities, plausibilities, and legalities, whereas FX Hedge is just putting out news. I don't see why they would post something like that. You know, I think that's kind of dumb. I'll be right back.
And to be fair, everything is theoretical right now anyway.
Sure. Yeah, everything's theoretical until it happens, whether it be related to due diligence, technical analysis, or anything in between.
Well, when Archegos blew up in May, we didn't find out about their margins until after the fact. So I don't know how anybody would know beforehand.
Looks like we've broke down through our support level.
Let's take a look. What do you got on price action for me? What's it? What are we looking at right now?
2462.
Bitcoin is up slightly. Cardano, Polkadot, Doge. Ethereum is down 1.5%. It's a relatively flat day for crypto right now. Uniswap is down 5%. Not a big deal. Dogecoin is up 6%. That's not saying a whole lot. No offense to anybody. Francisco. You can give him a holler. Tell him to come in here. I'm going to drop the man a line. Latest data from November 22nd. 475,000 failures to deliver. I wonder what December's looking like. I love that Ortex trading signals show AMC as a sell signal. That's great. I think they're in for a hell of a surprise. What's up, Sergio? Welcome back, brother.
I tell you, Ortex is off of my preferred vendors list after my subscription runs up. I'm not updating.
I hear that.
Dow Jones is sinking down. Might turn red.
Oh yeah, you're not lying. Oh, looks like they're all fucking sinking.
Yeah, S&P is down as well.
Oh shit.
0.81%.
That is interesting. Okay, so the S&P's down almost 1%. The Nasdaq's down over 2.5%. Oil remains up. Energy remains elevated. And let's see, whoa, what's this? Communication services just took a downturn, as did real estate. Real estate was holding up ever so slightly in the positives. And IT is down further to negative 3% for the day. Consumer discretionary is also down further. Oh, this isn't over, boys and girls. This isn't over. Not at all. Dr. Zeno, you know, the problem is that you come in here acting a fool, you know, putting people down, acting all high and mighty, pretending like you're better than everybody. And nobody really needs your conceited bullshit. So if you're going to come in here and say shit like that, you might as well get the fuck out and don't come back. Or you could just be our laughing stock if you really want to. Because at the end of the day, if you're over here just talking shit, what does that make you? You know, what does that make you? Nothing but garbage, a negative piece of shit that nobody gives a fuck about. You want to be negative? Go start your own channel and say whatever the hell you want about me. I couldn't care less. I guarantee you I'll never come watch. So, goodbyes, Dr. Zeno. Have a nice life. Thank you, Pete. Thank you. Appreciate you. Getting the fuck out of here. Gotta love the mods.
Boss, did you just flush a turd?
I just ripped one.
Was that on YouTube?
Mm-hmm.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, the IT sector's down further. Energy is energy's not down up 2% anymore. It's only up 1.38%. So it started taking a little bit of a downturn as well. But yeah, real estate took a big downturn quickly. We're right here, horror. All good, man. Hanging out. Got my finger on the trigger to buy some more. Ben Currington's got some venom cake rolled up. That is going to be good, man. Have fun falling asleep after that one. That's too much. In a good way. What's up, Natalie? Sub, Ian. Good to see everybody. Let's see what's going on in the macro.
Hey, boss, did you see
up,
when
brother?
they got the IWM shorted like 52%?
What?
The IWM shorted 52%, like 163 million shares short.
The days to cover on the iShares Russell 2000 IWM is now 3.7, and the short percent has increased by 3%. The trading volume today is 103% on the IWM.
Okay.
Interesting.
Has anybody looked at the VIX?
Not in a moment, but my calls need me to. That's for sure. But it's not. It hasn't moved enough for me to you know, bother thinking about selling or buying more yet because it's down. It was down yesterday, like 18.5.
Up 7.31%.
It's up 7.13?
3.1.
Oh, 7.31. Yeah. Cool. I hadn't heard anybody bring it up. That's why I was asking.
Good deal. Well, the high today is 18.17. I mean 18.7. So yeah, not much has happened in it. I'm looking towards the days when we get into the $60, $70, $80 price range for the VIX. Because that'll lead us into $120, $140, in my opinion, on the VIX. Looks like Australia consumer inflation was 4.8% actual compared to a 4.6% previous. PMI flash December for Japan is decent. 51.1. Never mind. It's not decent. But that's a number, not a percentage. So I can't state exactly what it is, but it's right on track with what it was previously. Employment
out of that descending channel.
Employment change in Australia was good. I got to get IBKR back up. Let me pop it back open.
What is IBKR?
Interactive broker.
Oh.
I forget. I just use acronyms sometimes. Economies. New home sales for Australia went from 11% last quarter last month to 7.7%. New home sales this month. That's definitely a big downturn.
I don't recall any statement made by Powell yesterday, and I could be wrong about interest rate hikes though. Did he make any speculation on if they're going to raise the interest rates like for mortgages and stuff, or no?
Next year. But anything can change, he also said, so who knows?
Well, the reason I ask is we already know the housing market bubble is popping, and then with the boss has mentioned several times the continual decline over the last 2 years, month over month, of new mortgages being taken out on or new homes being built. So if they raise the interest rates on then that'll even make the housing problem worse.
Well, if I remember correctly, he said they're gonna expedite their tapering. Then I think mid-March is when they plan on stop buying assets, and then sometime after that they'll start raising interest rates with possibly like 3 hikes next year.
Okay.
But then he also said, hey, that could change if Omicron gets out of hand and stuff like that. So who knows?
All right, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Really? Come on. Fucking interactive brokers. Bust my chops here. Be right back.
I mean, if you think about it, the guys who control J Powell, they want the market inflated right now, especially in terms of a MOASS.
I mean, I agree with that. I mean, I do think that there's still a need to kind of help prop up the economy.
Oh yeah.
Market. I mean, if they start tapering too fast or raising interest rates at the same time, I mean, especially after MOASS, it's going to be catastrophic. I mean, we're already going to be dealing with a big enough problem. I don't see how they're not going to have to honestly reverse in some form or fashion and help inject money into the banks or whatever.
Oh yeah. No, we probably need 1980 style interest rates, to be honest with you. but I don't know if that will ever happen.
I mean, those are pretty high. So I mean,
Yeah, but I mean, the cost of food to put on your table is really high too. You know,
that's what I'm saying. I don't know if interest rates going through the roof. I mean, like, even though people are getting raises, they're not keeping up with inflation, even though they've been fairly significant in the last year or two. But, if the cost of everything is going up, and then if inflation is not tapered under control and interest rates rise, or cash, the money to interest to borrow money, you're talking about a huge retraction in liquidity and capital, being able to have access money, which is going to put people in a lot poorer spot. We need, it's one thing to spend the money and stimulus on growth or development or infrastructure, to produce jobs and produce revenue would be beneficial. But
yeah, unfortunately, when they spend money, it's spent so inefficiently.
Oh, I agree with that.
Higher interest rates will not restore the purchasing power we have lost.
Cash money is correct.
Hey, Charles Payne's back on Twitter.
What's he saying?
We just had a breakout of our channel, and we have passed the 20, 50, and we're touching the 100 EMA. And if we bust past that, there's almost a convergent on the 100 and 200 EMA that it's really close to. So if we get past that 200 again, we may see another run up.
Hey, back. What chart are you in? Like, what minute?
I'm on a minute chart right now.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, this candle right now is stuck in between the 50 and 100 EMA. It's really weird. It's touched both of them and stopped. So it's finding some. Yep, finding support and resistance on the EMA. It actually just went past a little. It just touched the 100 or the 200 EMA.
Yeah, you're right.
Come on, other 10s. Fucking red candle. Oh yeah, pushing hard. Huh?
RSI is creeping up there too.
Uh-huh. MACD is still hanging low at -0.05 though. When I saw that touching the 200, I thought, man, we were getting ready to cross base, but I guess not.
Yeah, I'm still not very good at reading like the MACD or understanding it. I have it on there, but
It's just once it breaks base, then it's oversold versus undersold, right?
I see. Okay.
It's basically, honestly, it's just a positive negative on your selling. Boy, at 200 is just being a bitch.
Hanging out right there in that little.
It is. And you know what's going to end up happening? It's either going to leg up or leg down and then break the next EMA. And if it, like I said, I think once we start a candle above 200 EMA, we may be off to the races again.
It's trying.
Yeah, it sure is. It's flirted with it. It's hit it twice now. I got a hanging hammer now.
Just fucking with us.
It is.
The tease.
It's like somebody's listening to me. I better shut the fuck up. How's that for a height of ego?
I mean, I wouldn't put it past them, to be honest with you.
Yeah, my height of ego is I think their algorithm is listening to me. I also subscribe to the stocks that's in tinfoil. So
I thought that's what these meme stocks were, because everybody in the market tells us we're crazy.
See, now it's touching the. Oh, we got a convergence on 20 and 50. Ah, fuck me, it's gonna go back down.
Still 20 minutes outside of power hour.
Yeah, you know the thing that'll drive you batshit crazy if you try to read these stocks on TA like GameStop and any of the memes. If you try to read those on a normal TA, it just doesn't make any fucking logistical sense at all. Because they don't act normal, right?
No, I fucked up on several different buy purchases based off TA, and you know it went down a lot further than what I thought it would.
The best thing to do with these memes is go back at least on the maybe 3 to 6 month mark and start trying to really iron out and hammer down what their repetitive trends are, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, they just have a tendency, even on a micro or versus a macro level, to repeat the same fucking thing. But finding it is the bitch. Because just like Edward and Astro have brought up, it's one thing to identify it, it's another to re-identify it because it's either compressed or lengthened out over time, and it just doesn't look the same. The same.
Yeah, I
even
mean,
though it is.
Yeah, the same statistical pattern could be stretched out over a longer period of time or compressed, like you said. And that's kind of fucked me several times of, causing, waiting for, catching a dip and then think it consolidates at the bottom of that dip or whatever, and then trying to buy at that low point, and then I end up fucking being completely wrong. 2 days later, 3 days later, I'm like, fuck, it's went down $5 more.
Yep, that's why I buy on gut feeling and I have a 42 average.
Nicholas, I want to say that Anchorage Capital may have exited or rolled their puts between 7/1 and 9/29. But that doesn't mean that they didn't take out new ones, because they currently have 4 million puts. Not 4 million shares. I believe Dr. Metzler may have made a slight mistake there. I think he meant 4 million puts.
Yeah, it's 4 million puts.
That's a big difference.
That's okay. It's still a lot.
Yeah.
What is it? Did he say it was 4 million puts or 4 million shares? Right? Because it was just slightly misworded. So that at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter, because we can look it up, right, and see what their 13F said. But I believe that was, let's go check it out. One second. I hear some weird noise over there.
He may have used a translator too.
That out.
I'm seeing 4 million AMC short positions on his tweet.
look like it's barcoding right now to you, Silverback?
All right, time
AMC?
now for our top calls. So look at some of the movers
sorry?
on the back of analyst recommendations. First up, AT&T upgraded to overweight over.
Does it look like it's barcoding right now? Like on AMC, it kind of looks like it.
What candle are you on? What's your time frame?
I was just looking from about 2:30. Seems like it's just been barcoding since about 2:30.
No, what I'm asking is what minute candles are you on? Are you at 1, 5 minute? What are you at?
Well, shit, 1 minute candles.
Yeah, I don't think it's barcoding.
It just because they looks like they're all identical, like every one of them match each other side by side.
Yeah, that's not what mine's doing.
Since about 14:26, they're just all in a straight line across there. You see it in the 1 minute.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I'll put this in chat so you can see it. It's definitely not barcoding. Hold on.
Okay.
You want to watch something barcode? Go look at PROG.
Prog.
Yeah.
All right.
I say that, and I haven't looked at it in a fucking minute today. Yeah. Yeah, another good indicator on your when it's barcoding, dude, is take a look at the volume underneath. If your volume bars are also doing a repetition, you know what I mean, the same type of deal, then that's a good indicator.
Okay.
Yeah, PROG isn't really barcoding either right now. It's just taking a shit. Well, no, it is barcoding, and I'll show you where. It's on the 10-second, or excuse me, the 10 cent. You'll see that it's hitting the upper and the lower on each 10 cent, and then it'll drop. I'll put that in there too.
Hey, back can can you see a correlation in the order to book or whatever when it is barcoding?
You know, I don't know. I don't have the second level. I don't pay for that.
Okay.
And the reason is because I don't fuck with options, right?
Right.
Now, after MOASS, that'll probably change drastically, but it's not economically feasible for right now for me to look at that. Plus, pretty much everybody that I talk to has got access to it anyway, so they just show me.
Right.
Now, do you see that, Train Man?
Hold on, I'm getting ready to look over at it right now. Did you put it in the chat?
I did. You'll see, look at around 1,300, and then look in between 26 and 259. So it's every cent. You'll see it's almost perfectly identically lines up. That's barcoding, or that's a form of barcoding.
Okay, I'll check it out. Let's see.
What's up, Farzam? It's good to see you guys. Thanks for your support. Tesla down 5 at the moment. VIX to the moon. Apple, what is going on? What's the word with Apple?
Nasdaq 2.85.
Yeah, Dow actually now negative 0.35.
Wow, this is the first time the Dow's gone negative, I think, for the day. Or it's the first time in a while. It's been positive the majority of the day.
Well, Nasdaq, we may see -3 on that before it's over with.
Apple's 179.30.
Ooh, SPY is down 1.15% and lowering. 1.17.
Think we're seeing negative sentiment on the tapering.
What's that?
Negative sentiment on the tapering.
Oh, yeah, that could be. That makes sense.
Hey, back. Barcoding is not something to me when I see it, it tends to look like it stays within a certain channel, over obviously the day or whatever, or a certain period of time. But how much of that do you think is just the algorithms, this and that, or just direct manipulation? Because
Oh,
to me, it doesn't seem
it could,
natural at all.
no, it could honestly all be algorithms. You know what I mean? I mean, you can't say all of it, but it to me it's systemic to algorithm, right?
Okay, but I mean, it's not anything that is natural trading whatsoever, correct?
No, it couldn't be. There's no. If it were more normal trading, it'd be more volatile than that. Just on a, nothing is that linear, right?
Okay.
It's more it'd be more chaotic. It's kind of like chaos theory. So
Yeah, that
I mean,
makes sense.
looking at this, it shows no impact basically on price. There's no FOMO. There's no nothing. It's just, and it
Well,
may be just the fact that they're buying and selling between each other because who knows what the utilization is, right?
right.
On PR
Well,
or G.
I was thinking that there's obviously a difference between consolidation and barcoding. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're separate.
Yeah, well, consolidation, you're going to have ups and downs, and volatility, right? And a lot of times it's just up and now it'll be traveling along a line, but for it to actually terminate on your upper and lower candle, or actually bodies of the candle, um, on a even cent each time, that's horseshit. That's barcoding.
All right, I appreciate it, bro. Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Hey, don't forget to smash the like button for the algorithm.
I'd like to. And we're back negative on AMC.
Hey, back, with the 90% dark pool volume we discussed, earlier about it being that much off exchange, if we get a few days of that or something like that, would that cause later, at some point in time when that does go to the lit exchange or whatnot? I mean, can that cause a flood basically at some point in time when they eventually?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And I think, you'll see a lot of that too at the end of the day. Boss brought this up not too long ago. Sometimes it's the last minute candle, sometimes it's the last 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 even. You'll see an influx of huge volume. And I think that's shit that they've had sitting in the dark pool that they're releasing back in on a sell, right? So the
So
buyers are being.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
So there's like I'm saying, there's a point where like a pressure gets built up on their side. I mean, where they try to bleed it off, I guess, back into the exchange at the times that affect them the least, or what's best for them, obviously.
Right. I mean, it's kind of like having. I hate to use this terminology. A lot of people are not going to know what I'm saying, but it's like in a pipe or in a tank or something. You usually have a pressure relief valve, and if you don't use that, then it'll tax your hoop strength and the structural integrity of it, and it busts out and ruptures it. It's the same premise. Not the greatest analogy, but the point is if you're allowing pressure to build up, all you're doing is putting your purchases in there, then you can't just have it once. You can't have your cake and eat it too.
I see.
So they have to release it back into the lit exchange, and it doesn't really matter either because they're not up to par on what it should be anyway. So I think at some point, just to your point, I think that it releases Pandora's box at some point. The floodgates open up, and that's when I think we start seeing just an influx of green candles, right?
Right. I'm assuming like right now they just kind of basically burp bleed it, I guess, here and there
Yep.
as to relieve some of the pressure.
Yep.
As they
That's
try to
exactly
control the price.
Yeah, but I mean, to their folly. I mean, it's a lost cause. But if you listen to those damn interviews that Kenny had, he said everything that we did every single day, but everything that we did bought us another day, and that's their whole. They're to their dying breath, they're going to try to shake loose somebody to get them to get rid of their shares. But I think that we've passed the point of no return, right? We've hit the point to where it's a lost cause. It's event horizon is the best way to explain it.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand them, doing this or whatever, and buying the time because there probably was, a possibility at one time of an exit strategy, but with the market and just everything that's going on now, I think that they're past that. There's no way to turn around now. You know what I mean?
No,
they can't overcome
honestly, when they pushed the thing down to 20, to I don't know what was their end game. Push it down to 18, 17, 15 to try to cover. They should have fucking covered when they had a chance months ago, right?
Yeah. I mean, even if they do now, like everybody gets excited because that's such a low price, then people just buy. So, I mean, that's not helping them to take the price down too low either.
No. Kind of makes me nervous when Boss and Elmo disappear at the same time,
here.
I'm just saying.
I'm just listening.
Them two were quiet for a while. Maybe I'm not the only one with calluses.
When you hear when Elmo goes quiet, you better start listening to thumps under the desk.
Jesus.
Look at that. You see that fucking shit? This is not great for the markets. The Nasdaq's down 2.85, the SPY's down 1.11, and the Dow Jones is down 0.33.
Oh, shit.
It's a rough day.
Yeah.
It's a rough day.
Fire
Keep
sale.
bleeding.
Well, look at Energies is down now 0.3.
Yeah, man.
Actually, everything's red on the sectors except for materials and consumer staples.
And that's fucked up because consumer staples. Oh no, it was communicate. Wait a minute. Consumer staples
You're thinking
was
of consumer
down.
discretionary.
Oh, consumer discretionary. You're right. Yeah, consumer discretionary is still down. IT is down further to 3.25%. Energy is barely up. Healthcare barely up. This is across the board.
Yeah, it's taking a shit.
European markets are expected to surge when they open this morning as investors react to the Fed's decision to accelerate tapering of its monthly bond purchasing program. FTSE is expected to open 61 points higher.
Are we still live, by the way?
Yeah. Yeah. What's up? What do you have in mind?
Oh, nothing, man. I was just double checking, making sure. Because I hopped off. I actually had to get on a call, so I wanted to make sure we were still live. Before I said something too fucking ignorant.
Elmo, you didn't have an admission to make, did you?
Let it ride.
Negative. That is a negative. No admissions here, boy.
Yeah. His strategy for admissions are something of the sort like admit nothing, deny everything.
Whatever.
Deflect.
Yep. Because he's got on he deflects like he's wearing Wonder Woman's bracelets.
What are we doing? 2462?
That's what the ring is for.
Are we fucking
what it
delta
calls its
hedging,
ring.
boys? What's going on over here? 2465. Let's move. Keep it going. Come on. You know you want to. All right. I think we're delta hedging.
Oh, look at that.
This is plus 2470. Positive news. Almost on the fucking money. Power hour. 2465. Let's see where the fuck these candles go. Should be preceded by a heavy fucking short. All right, so we're trading this channel. Yeah, we're going to keep it in here. False alarm. Nothing's happening. Nothing's happening just yet. We're going to come back down to the probably 2430 range again. Okay. So we got to give it some more time and see what happens here in the rest of power hour, because that's not it.
do have basically what you're saying, Carol. They have that mojo. It's just a matter of sort of getting expectations in line. I do worry, though, there is sort of a layer of stocks underneath that. And when you talk about market breadth, the market breadth really hasn't been there even when we had those rallies.
50-day moving average. So the technical picture clearly looking weak. And I do wonder, Taylor, how much of that is, concern around inflation, of the prospect of higher rates coming down the pike, and how much of that is just a market that was looking too frothy and people are maybe taking some profit.
And we were talking about this BNP Paribas note that just came out and crossed my inbox, talking about some of the technicals. Kaylee, to your point, how much of this can be pension rebalancing? You've had a huge run up in equities, outperforming bonds by 10%, according to the indices that they're looking at. Yeah. If you're now big overweight all the equity, do you rebalance into the end of the year to make sure that you're within the parameters that have previously been set? How much of that is risk management? We don't know the answer to that, Carol, but it is interesting as we head into. And is it triple witching tomorrow as well?
Tomorrow.
Witching day.
There's only 3 witches, right?
One of them has expired.
There's a lot of questions. There's a lot of volatility, and I feel like we keep pulling from research. Chair of the U.S. Council of Economic Advisors weighed in on Bloomberg today about inflation. Check it out, everyone.
It has been our sense since the beginning that the inflation that we're seeing is due to the mismatch of the pandemic.
Wow.
This pandemic was a catastrophic, blow to our economy, to the worldwide economy. It generated supply disruptions because our supply chain was highly calibrated, and just any disruption was gonna perturb that system.
All right. So that's Cecilia Riles, chair of the U.S. Council of Economic Advisors here. Guys, I guess we will ultimately know, we all understand the disruptions. We've heard this story.
I'm tired of their bullshit.
Okay.
Take a quick peek at the markets. Even oil is down slightly. That's interesting. There we go, 2430s. All right, cool. Right on track. It should start diverging a new pattern here. Yeah, we're going to be hanging out here for a little bit. Imran asks if we need to fill the gap below $20 to get traction upwards. I definitely don't think so. I don't think that we have to go anywhere near the $20 range in order to maintain the current momentum or to get further positive momentum here. No, if anything, I think it wants to move back upwards based off what we've previously seen. But I believe this to be our support level that we're trading in right now, as I mentioned a little bit earlier. What was previously 2480 should now be moved right over here. Yeah, some friends that I know were trying to get tickets for Spider-Man, and needless to say, they could not find tickets anytime this week in Chicago area. They just said, forget it, we'll go another time. So Spider-Man is sold out in a lot of places, I'll tell you that much. The NFT was a great idea by AMC, I mean, as well. I think that was a really good idea. AMC has written in the blockchain code of these NFTs, when they are sold between people, between third party, AMC gets a small portion of the profits, which is pretty fucking cool, and that's a good way, I think, to increase revenue and increase your bottom line profits in general. There we go, bounced off that 2430 range, 2440. Looking like it's going to consolidate in here for a bit. Anybody got their Gemini account up by chance?
I love you, Marcel.
Oh, that was gay, but I appreciate it.
Why? Why can't he? Why has he got to be gay, showing you manly love?
Ooh, they're about to cancel you now.
That sounded very. That sounded a lot less manly and a lot more lovely than anything else. The tone.
That sounded like a reach around.
That was less about what was said and more about how it was said.
It was with the inflection and the lisp.
Yeah.
The lisp.
By
the way, the Nasdaq just hit negative 2.9.
Not in all cases, but in that case specifically.
Yeah. Negative 2.9 on Nasdaq.
Please say that
is on fire. We're seeing trillions of dollars erased from global equities right now.
What the fuck? And now it's up to 2.6.
Mine says 2.7, 2.69 right now.
Yeah.
My S&P is
literally
down 1%.
I'm just gonna quit reading the fucking market. Jesus.
It's pretty close. It's not that far. I'm 2.7 right now. I'm showing 15,850 on the Nasdaq. How about you?
I'm showing 15,157.
15,157. Why is the difference there?
Yeah.
Substantial. Yeah, that's a substantial difference. We'll go to the indices. A lot of buy signals there. I don't know if I believe that shit though. ASS, I heard Shema was actually going to be more impactful, or that kind of magnitude of Evergrande fallout. And Shema was past all 3 red line tests. Yeah, they're kind of a slightly smaller company as well, but like we've said before, we're kind of in the part of the big short here where none of the mortgage companies or none of the banks want to admit as to what the actual impact is on these securities just yet.
The rating agency.
Well, the rating agencies already brought them down as far as they can to RD, right? Restricted default. So they can't go down to default until they're technically in bankruptcy court. So it's like these banks are purposely ignoring everything that these rating agencies are telling them.
That's fair for collateral.
Because it's collateral, yeah. But for now, in the same way that we're being told that China's a good investment, that's the exact same thing we were seeing back in 08 in real estate here.
Yeah, and you can sign up to be a bag holder at any time.
They need bag holders right now. That's for sure. Facebook exposes mercenary spy firms that targeted 50,000 people. Meta Platforms is calling out half a dozen private surveillance companies for hacking or other abuses, accusing them in a report published Thursday of targeting over 50,000 people across its platforms. Here you go, guys. Proof. Facebook exposing mercenary spy firms targeting people such as you and I. Meta said it was suspending roughly 1,500 mostly fake accounts run by 7 organizations across Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. Meta said the entities targeted people in more than 100 countries. Among them is Israel's Black Cube, who became notorious for deploying its spies on behalf of Hollywood rapist Harvey Weinstein. Meta said the intelligence firm was deploying phantom personas to chat its targets up online, gather their emails, likely for later phishing attacks. The company said it does not undertake any phishing or hacking. All our agents are fully compliant with local laws. That's interesting shit, for sure. Oh, look at that. Volume. What the fuck's going on here? Did this really just... Okay, you saw that fucking glitch too? I know you guys did. I'm not freaking out. That shit went from 30 to 350 in a heartbeat.
I saw it too.
We're at 2470 though. 2474. And just kind of charging around right there.
Just fucking... Yep.
This is for Pete. We're gonna be so goddamn rich.
Goddamn right. I better keep all my accounts handy. We just broke the 200-day EMA. It's good to hear. Thanks, Kevin. Appreciate you, brother. The White House is giving out cybersecurity warnings now. Surprise, surprise. Checking my VIX calls real quick while we're on it. GameStop's at 144.75. AMC's at 24.72. Looks like the VIX is up 13% to 21.93. That is bullish. Invesco's QQQ is down 2.5%. Riot Blockchain down almost 8%. Robinhood down almost 8% to 17.95. That's always good news. People got their puts on Robinhood. Thanks, appreciate you, Apes Are Us. Yeah, if you guys don't mind hitting the like, it's free, and it will help share this with other apes and potential apes. We're starting to see some heavier volume now. You see that? 125, 100. Let's see if it stagnates. Look at this fucking candle over here showing 100, 200,000 volume. Is that dark pool fuckery? You see that shit just show up and then disappear? I know you guys saw it again this time. We were talking about it.
You think that's volume that they're trying to hide?
What if they processed a lot of orders on the dark pool, you know, and it went through as one sale? Look at that. Look at that fucking volume candle, man. I'm not even touching my computer, so nobody can say I'm fucking with anything. Yeah, JP, reverse repos hit a new record high today, 1.657 trillion actually, right around there. It's bullish, 2489. Doing a little climbing. We're gonna hang out here for a little bit. 24.94. I like it. I like it a lot.
Let's go.
Let's fucking go. While that's pulling up, I'm getting that stuff as promised that I told you about earlier regarding the Evergrande bonds being used by HSBC and companies to leave Americans as bag holders. So we've got the dual purpose derivatives over here. Let me see if I can just find the right picture, the right screenshot, I should say. Hey, any chance April News is in here? At April News from Twitter. Would be cool if you were. This is HSBC USA Inc. Capped Gears. $15.5 million securities linked to the S&P 500 index due August 31st, 2022. They're offering notes to the public. Per note, $10 per note to the public. The underwriting discount of 20 cents with proceeds to the issuer of $9.80. For a total of $15.5 million. Underwriting discount of $310,000, 15.2 going to the issuer. This document relates to the offering of securities linked in the underlying index. This is from the SEC.gov. And you can see here $10 per security issued through HSBC USA. This is here's the underlying index S&P 500. Underlying index return times upside gearing and $10 times the maximum gain. In this case, you could lose up to 100% of the principal of the principal amount of securities. If the underlying index return is negative on the final valuation date, HSBC will pay you a cash payment at maturity that will be less than the principal amount of $10 per security, resulting in a loss of principal that is proportionate to the negative underlying index return. The investment term is approximately 1 year and 2 months. That leaves just enough time for these bonds to take a shit and be worthless, these notes. HSBC USA Inc. Capped Gears, SPX, August 31st, 2021. I'm sorry, 2022. The trade date, June 25th. The settlement date was June 30th of 2021. The final valuation and maturity dates are in August of 2022. As you can see here, it says the securities are significantly riskier than conventional debt instruments. The terms of the securities may not obligate HSBC to repay the full principal amount of the securities. They have downside market risk similar to the underlying index, which can result in a loss or sum of all of the principal amount at maturity. So thanks so much at April News on Twitter for posting this up. So and for messaging me and for coming on the Discord. Hopefully we can talk about this here shortly. But these here are dual directional buffered notes. get into that for you guys right now. You don't. That doesn't really matter to you. This is dated December 10th. This is dated December 10th, 2021. Let's see if I can open it in a new window. I'll have to download it to be able to show it to you, to be able to zoom in for you guys to be able to read this. Yep, I had a feeling. December 10th, 2021. Announcement by Aileen Taylor from HSBC. We should go check that out. We should go to this URL, actually. Once this is a photo, I've got to type it out. That's crazy. It's not going to come up for us. I'm going to have to go download that later on, apparently. Bring it back and show it to you guys. Following the cancellation of repurchased shares, the company will have 20 billion ordinary shares in issue. Why are they canceling repurchased shares? Who in the chat here or in the think tank knows about these fucking things? Initial HSBC bond registration statement. New one is next. They offered this after January up with GameStop stock, leading them to new heights. Let's take a quick peek at the stock price, 24.78. All right. It's a lot of waivers. I'll tell you that much, guys. Hey, Pete, how was that Lucid dealership in West Palm Beach, brother? That sounds pretty dope. Oh, shit. They had $1.272 billion in subordinate debt securities as of December 31st, 2020. And at this time, they issued 191 million shares of capital stock, 41 million shares of preferred stock, 150 million shares of common stock. The fuckery is out of control. Thanks so much for sending that my way, brother. Appreciate you. At Ape World News. Good looking out.
All these young investors speaking about what drew them into the stock market, and I guess to a certain extent what keeps them there. Bloomberg personal finance reporter Claire Ballantyne, her name's at the top of that story. Some great reporting on this, Claire, and I think for a lot of us, particularly who are older and kind of came up in a different generation of investing, it was fascinating to watch this unfold over the last year and a half or so here. Let's start first in the crypto space. And I'm just curious what you learned from those voices there about how they view crypto, and do they take it seriously, I guess?
Oh, they definitely do. I think what was really interesting about talking with these people is to hear about the range of assets in the crypto world that they're investing in. I mean, this is not just Bitcoin and Ethereum. These are alternative coins. These are NFTs. These are the building blocks of what people think is going to be the future metaverse. And these people do a lot of research into these trades is one thing that really struck out to me. I mean, this is not people who are just throwing money in a market. These are people who are really embedded in a community.
Say it again, Cash.
There's a 13F link in a chat
Good deal, brother.
showing the 4 million puts.
I may have been early, but I'm not wrong. God damn this guy.
Is that 4 million put contracts or just $4 million in puts?
That's a lot of memes, guys. You guys really went crazy today, huh? I love it. I can't get to the bottom.
Hey, Cash, I'm assuming that the puts is a full contract, which would be 100 shares, so it's 4 million
They are,
contracts.
yes, they are.
So that's 400 million.
No, it can't be.
Big number.
Which 13F is this? This is October. Wait a minute. This is an old one.
Yeah, so the 2H ones went down.
Why can't I find the date on this thing? Look at their most latest one. Class A common stock, 4 million shares, puts with a value of 226 million. Yep, 226,720,000.
Is that the equivalent? I mean, like Reaper just said, is that the equivalent of one contract, or is that 4 million contracts, which would be 400 million shares?
I don't think so. I think
It's
that's
just
4 million shares,
right? Yeah.
Because they got the voting. Here it says voting authority. They got 4 million shares worth of voting power here. It seems like.
Okay. Okay.
That makes more sense.
Mm-hmm. But still, it's $226 million, $250 million, in puts. That doesn't include losses of any sort. That's just the value of those puts, I believe. hanging out around 24.73 right now. Countdown to close.
Hey, boss, you mind if I ask a question?
Good.
Just because, me personally, a little bit nervous about, say this does moon or whatnot, and I'm sure other people maybe have some similar thought to it. I did call my brokers this and that and discuss them what the insurance policy was versus cash in your account and, securities or whatever. And I got those limitations or whatever from each one of them. Concern is, especially with the smaller account that I have, if you end up with a decent portion or whatever position that's obviously outside of that insurance range in the cash account, and turning right around in this chaotic market and purchasing a security or crypto or this and that, might not be advantageous right at that moment. But you realistically, if we're concerned that maybe the brokers possibly even being on the hook because they sold you the shares, and if they're synthetic or not, or if the broker never actually provided the shares from the market maker, if the broker ends up being partly due to being on the hook for that, and say if it causes them to go under, this is why I'm concerned about the insurance, the protection of that money, so that you don't have this money sitting in your account. And if you're talking about moving $1 million or a few $1 million into your bank, we also know the banks only have a certain amount of insurance. Now they have other programs and stuff to insure more than just the $250,000, but still putting it back into a market account. So, what is your suggestion, or what do you think of how do we protect ourselves as far as, if you ended up with $5 million or $10 million, of how to protect that so that there's no loss to you in case something happens?
Yo, man, I can't hear you anymore. What was that? How do you protect what? Got real quiet.
How do you sorry, I said, how do you protect your, or keep in case something were to happen, if the broker got into trouble or something?
I can't really answer that question, man. I don't have the answer you're looking for, unfortunately. So I'm just going to be honest with you and tell you that, I'm not going to lie to you.
No, I understand. I definitely think that everybody needs to know what their insurance policies are with their brokers and what their options are with their banks. Just because, like I said, it makes me a little bit nervous. I would like to obviously move it right back into security, then that would protect it because it's insured with the DTCC, and the insurances are higher on the securities than in the cash account. But at the same time, the market's going to be a little bit crazy. You may not want to buy it that day or the next day. So I just a thought to put out there to people. I just had a concern about it. Thank you, brother.
Is there any DD out there, other than like the fly-by-night brokers like Robinhood and shit? But like, is there any DD suggesting that brokers, like Fidelity, are going to potentially get burned during MOASS?
So, I mean, no one can ever say that they are completely carte blanche across the board, that they're immune to it. The likelihood of your larger brokers going under because of it are pretty unlikely. And then also to the point to what Funds Reaper brought up a while ago, there are other avenues as far as mitigating exposure on your cash accounts. First of all, the first thing that they tell you is it's not like an FDIC deal. It's governed under some other insurance that they utilize. But you got to remember too, they utilize these things. One of the things they don't come right out in the forefront tell you is they do. If you'll notice, almost everybody's account, you'll see something. If whatever cash that you have at the end of the day, you'll have an option to put it into one of their mutual funds, or you can put it into what's called a sweep. And those sweeps, just so you guys know, let's say that they insured you up to $1 million, and let's say you had 10 million, and let's say it was cash. They put it in these sweeps, and it's a way of getting around that. What they do is they take that 10 million and they disperse it across multiple banking agencies to get under the restrictions of what their limitations are for insurance purposes are. Now, it's one thing to talk to somebody on and then to get online and ask a question. You got to remember you're dealing with first point of contact. You need to delve a little bit more into that. I think you're going to be better protected than what you think. Also, one of the reasons that I switched over to Fidelity from TD Ameritrade because TD Ameritrade was pissing me off with their payment for order flow crap and everything else. But I did not close those accounts. And one of the reasons I did not do that is you keep a minimal amount in these satellite accounts. So if we do MOASS, I'm able at that point to divvy up half of it and bring it over to those accounts, and now I've mitigated my exposure per broker by 50%. Yes?
Theoretically, yes.
Yeah. So my whole point is, at that point, I can guarantee you that once we start hitting X dollars a share, this is not financial advice. This is what I'm planning on doing. I'm going to get a hold of a company that specializes in this. And at that point, I will start doing the paperwork. And the reason I haven't prior is because it runs between 2 and 3, maybe 4,000 per account. And I'm going to be doing mine on an offshore self-directed IRA via an LLC as the operating body. And that mitigates a lot of exposure through the U.S. markets. So there's many more avenues and things to do. But get with your broker again, try to get a higher up, get to somebody that's got a little bit more knowledge in it that you want to speak to, a financial advisor or whatever. Ask them specifically what the cash sweep is. I think you're going to be surprised. I cannot remember what they originally quoted me, but I can find that out. This is something we're going to have to talk about here in the near future anyway, but I wouldn't fret with it too much at this point. I'll get some numbers where I can.
Hey, back doesn't the bank? I went and sat with the private client group at my bank as well, and they said that they have other options in this. I mean, they didn't get into it obviously directly because again, that's still first point of contact at my bank. You know, there's people up above them that they told me that I would need to talk to when it came time.
Okay. Yeah. So there are a couple of things. So there's what they call HNW, with high net worth. There's ultra high net worth. There's like 4 tiers of this private banking. Okay. And each of those come with higher and better safeguards. Now with the private banking, one of the things I just don't have the time. It's time prohibitive for me to look into it so far. Is with these private banks, and when I mean private, that's exactly what it is when you're an ultra high net worth or a high net worth or whatever. You get usually you have a liaison that's attached to you, so you don't have to go through tellers and all that crap. There's a whole, look it up. There's a metric shit ton of stuff about it. But there are definitely avenues, and you have better protections. And they also, the problem is when you start getting into the private banking world, they're going to start trying to do wealth management for you. They're going to try to start being the ones that are trying to set up your trusts. You got to be careful. So before you allow them to give them the reins, and the next thing you know, you've signed over power of attorney. Get with your CPA, your tax attorney. Don't sign any papers. Get all this crap moved over until you've got a good baseline on what this is, what's best for you. So
appreciate the advice, man. Thanks.
Yeah, I think if I'm not mistaken, on just high net worth, I think that starts at 30 million. Or maybe that's ultra high. I can't remember. It's been a long time since I looked at it. But I will put together some stuff on this, and maybe one night we'll take a gander at it. But I don't want to give you any misleading or assumptive type of response, because it's not going to do anybody any good.
No, but I do think it's definitely a topic that we probably need to do some research on and discuss and have a discussion on it, because I'm definitely not knowledgeable enough about it, and I know a few others in here are, and be nice to learn and educate a little bit.
Shout out to ITD Consulting. My man says you can buy an insurance policy on your shares from an insurance company like Lloyd's of London. Those are carriers that insure hard to insure assets. That premium may be cheap while shares are cheap, but eventually it could save you a lot of money if it does MOASS. And he's got a good point. He also says that they'll insure for the value of the share, but as the value goes up, you tell them and pay the premium up, and they'll appraise it higher. So that's a good idea, man. People should look into that if they want, if they think that it would be necessary. Or he says alternatively, you could buy a policy like a sliding scale policy. Pretty good point as well. What are we looking at? Oh, so we really got to refresh this again. All right.
Yeah, I was just looking at the FDIC, some brokerage firms, including Fidelity. It is now possible to have uninvested cash balances swept up by multiple banks, making those balances eligible for up to 1.25 million of FDIC. Now that's for the FDIC, and then it said if you wanted to do, I think we're going to go down a rabbit hole with this pretty quick. There seems to be a multitude of avenues that we can take. So once again, I'll look into this a little better. But I didn't even know they could insure your shares, and I'd be curious to know if that's just on a cash account or if that's in IRAs also.
To digitization. So you want to be in the companies that are the recipients of that CapEx. That's a good place to be. You'll see earnings power there. And we would avoid some of the disruptors are disruptors. The multiples are very high. And I would go shopping in January. Some of what you're seeing here now is tax loss selling.
Yes.
And, not unusual. Very few losers this year. So people are selling the losers because they're very few to find. And then I would go into some of those disruptors that we know are coming.
So what about, we saw some people at least trying to take somewhat of a defensive position, at least prior to this week here, and we saw a lot of consumer staple stocks and some of those lower end stocks start to get bid up a little bit here. Do you find anything attractive about those types of names?
Look, we like healthcare for next year. We think as part of that mid-cycle rotation, healthcare is going to do much better next year. And also, it was a terrible performer in this year. So we like pharmaceuticals here. We think some of the concern over pricing will lessen next year. So we like that. And there's a cyclical component to healthcare because all those elective surgeries that didn't happen because of the strain on the hospitals, that should lessen next year. So we like healthcare. We're a little more
I'm not
concerned
going
about
to
staples.
lie.
Even those
Today,
staples are acting
AMC
better.
kind of moved with a similar pattern as the Dow Jones.
Higher price inputs.
Talk to us about the massive fiscal stimulus and the pivot to the massive fiscal easing, the financial conditions that are so easy, and you see that no more clearly than in real yields that continue to be massively negative. Alicia, what does that mean for you going forward?
Look, this is really a fascinating moment. I don't think we'd ever see, a moment where like a 12% nominal, growth. And then, we have yields at 1.5% or 1.4%. But, look, it's clear that we're going to have liquidity for a long time. It's also clear that if the Fed tried to tighten financial conditions yesterday, they did not succeed, okay? But there is going to be tightening in some sectors, and you have to think about this not as an overall issue, We're not going into a recession, and we are not going into a crash. But
So
we
are you seeing
going
volume candles come in and then just disappear?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You probably can't see my screen right now, but you could see it on the stream, like on YouTube.
Yeah.
It'll go up to like 200, 250,000, and then it'll come right back down to like 100,000 or below.
They're just rerouting.
And then, yeah, it was that like 100,000 or under 100,000, and it just ended up in a split second above, like at 150K. Like, okay, makes sense. Everything's cool.
This is the new normal they were talking about.
This is the head fake right here. This is the where they're definitely trying to shake out the paper hands and keep people scared. So I remain strong in my conviction, and I bet you Power Hour holds some really interesting shit in store for us. Just like yesterday, we ran almost 5% positive in Power Hour. The market makers and hedge funds are doing this specifically to try to reduce the effects of options implied volatility being affected. You want to see something funny, you guys? Here's 125,000 volumes, 125,000 volume on a lit exchange being sold. And here's 125,000 in volume being sold on a dark pool. Okay, lit, dark pool, lit, dark pool. 135,000 volume versus 132,000 volume. Okay, look, lit, dark pool. There you go. If you didn't know, now you know. This is the exact same fucking volume. The selling pressure caused all this, and the buying pressure caused this. That's why we push lit markets. That's why we want, people to buy routed. And yeah, I might have said Power Hour. I probably meant after hours. Whatever. You know what the fuck I meant. Thank you for correcting me, though. Market is closed. Market is closed. 24:45 is our final for the end of day. And I'm not going to stream after hours, but I encourage people to keep an eye on it, because I do expect that there's going to be some positive buying pressure here on the stock.
It's just another day. Jesus. Just another day before MOASS.
What a fucking joke. I'll take it. I'll take it. Let's go to the daily lineup on Interactive Broker. See what we're working with on world markets. The S&P 500 is down 0.7% to trade off prior lows. One last look at the sector shows IT is down almost 3%, consumer discretionary 2%, communication services. Financials and materials are at the top of the standings. Crude futures settled higher by 2%. Fair enough. Yeah, meanwhile, Ghislaine Maxwell's defense team begins its case ever so quietly. Don't hear about that a lot, do we?
Nope.
I'm sure the financial collapse will hide the verdict there from the mainstream headlines.
Without a doubt. It'd be a good way for them to hide things and pretend like it's not a big deal. GME short interest. Well, it all depends on what you're talking about there. the sure. Not exactly sure how to say your name. But it looks like the Nasdaq continues to move slightly. Check that out. Estimated short interest change today on GameStop was estimated 13% increase, with an estimated current short interest of the free float of 18.43%. And again, that's just estimated. We're not sure exactly what it is, and Ortex is only 85% of self-reported data. And on a bullish note, the cost to borrow max has increased to 10.79% for GameStop. Days to cover went up almost 31% to 4.13 days to cover. It also went up around 14% for AMC to around 2.8 days to cover or so, since we saw that earlier. But on that note, I think it's time to go wrap up some other work. Enjoy the rest of our day. Keep an eye on the after hours and look forward to tomorrow. What do you guys think?
That's right. Keep your head in the game.
Should be a fun Friday.
Let's go.
Let's fucking go.
Appreciate it, boss.
Rich.
Thanks, boss.
You guys too.
Get everybody in the stuff. Oh yeah.
Okay, 3, 2, let's go.
Fucking rich. Peace out, everybody. Wish you all peace and wealth. Best of luck.
Griffin, I want my fucking money. Yo, motherfucker.
Appreciate you guys. Thanks a lot to all my mods. Pete, TMI's baby mama, Sergio, everybody. Thank you all. Thanks for your support, everybody. Thanks for watching. Drop a like if you can. Tomorrow should be fun stuff. I think we got more shit coming our way.
Damn it, we're gonna be so fucking rich.